hole angles that someone could be poking their little head out like a gopher. Like, the maps just really aren't fun. Like, I would prefer just more 3-lane maps. Like, I know it's generic, I know it's been overdone to death in the franchise, but at least it was fun. These, I just haven't been having a good time with. The only 2 maps that I've consistently enjoyed are Payback and Subsonic. I haven't heard anyone talk about Subsonic, but I've actually really enjoyed that map. I don't even think it's that good of a map, like, objectively speaking, but it's like the only map where I'm getting action constantly and it doesn't feel like I'm getting shot from fucking, you know, the upside down where I had no idea you could even get to. It's just a fine map. And Payback I actually think is a good map. I have liked Payback quite a bit. I think that's probably the strongest here. I know a lot of people like Vorkuta, and Vorkuta's fine. Like, I think that's another, like, serviceable map, but I'm not going, you know, ballistic over it. I'm not pumping my fist like, yeah, this is the fucking gold standard for Black Ops 6 maps. It's okay. For
My
me,
favorite
Payback
is the
favorite
map with like the trains
That is the worst part of the
in the
multiplayer,
middle.
is how bad the maps are. Other than that, everything else is fine. Even good in certain degrees. Like, I do think the movement feels very fluid. I think that is a nice thing, but it doesn't feel different from other Call of Duties. It just feels like they've got the movement pretty fine-tuned by this point into the franchise. The guns feel good. Really, all of it feels good. Pretty much exactly what you expect from Call of Duty if you've played any of the previous titles. It is the exact same meal that you are getting served again. And for a lot of people, that's going to be that nice comfort food, and for others, it's just going to be pretty bland. For me, I'm somewhere in between. Like, I'm having some fun just playing through. I'm not grinding camos or anything, but hopping on and just banging out a couple of games, dropping like a fat, stinky 30 or 40 bomb before skill-based matchmaking claps my cheeks biblically, has been enjoyable. Like, I am not having a terrible time with it, but it really is just the same Call of Duty again, but with movement that I think feels more fluid than last year's title. I do want to mention skill-based matchmaking since I briefly brought it up. A lot of people are talking about it for good reason. It is harsh. Skill-based matchmaking in this is harsh. If you have one good game, I hope you're ready to get to the fucking esports challenger circuit here, because your next game is going to have the sweatiest, striving pros you have ever played against. Like, God forbid you have one game where you pop off, the next game, you are getting slapped. You are getting put into timeout, mister, and you're going to be wearing the dunce cap because skill-based matchmaking doesn't want to see
One thing that's really fun about this COD is running around with a fucking
on that.
shotgun.
It's kind of unnecessary. I've always been pretty vocal about my belief that Halo 2 had this whole skill-based matchmaking thing solved 20 fucking years ago. You have ranked playlists where you're playing against people of similar skill because it's ranked, and then you have casual where anything goes. You could be playing against a 9-year-old who just got the game for Christmas and it's his first time holding the controller, or you could be going up against Eric, who's trying his best to make it in the collegiate Call of Duty esports scene. You never really know. I truly don't think everything needs to be skill-based matchmaking. I just think you could divide it into categories like Halo 2 did all those years ago. I get the philosophy behind it, where you try and cater to every possible player, where if you do queue up casual and you play against pros and you're that 9-year-old who's never played a game before, it might make you leave the game because you got stomped so hard.
Oh yeah, thanks for the
that's
raid.
definitely possible, and I'm
Lifeline
sure
just
there's data
raided
to
with
back it up, but I still just
365
think
viewers.
trust the intelligence of the players. Like,
John